Alright, today we're jumping into Mindhunter. This is season 1, episode 8. I think we only have 2 more episodes to go and then we're done with season 1. So we're gonna be wrapping up Mindhunter. Everything so far, besides episode 1, which was a little for me, I think that this show found its footing. Been enjoying it. I'm enjoying interviewing these like serial killers and talking to them and kind of like solving other cases as we go along. So I'm like loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm ready to jump right into this. I don't really have much to say, child. This will be available for a full reaction on my 2nd and 3rd tier here on the YouTube platform as well as my other platform, Patreon. So guys, please sign into one of those platforms and help support the channel today. Now I'm a reactor. It's time to react to things. Let's jump into Mindhunter and find out exactly what this show has got to give. Deviant.
Mutilation.
I understand what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it.
Thinking about how we educate kids when you called.
And coming from the FBI, it is a powerful statement. Curious children, they will ask you what mutilation means.
And I can describe it.
I have nightmares. And tomorrow I'll be fielding calls from parents who will be justifiably concerned. If I had the time to build a foundation for their understanding, I'd be on board.
Hurting animals.
What about being mean to animals?
Deviant.
They will not know what that is. To prepare them for the world, yes, but we also need to protect them from it. Listen, Agent Ford, show them your badge. They'll be thrilled.
Can we stop these people from becoming disturbing in the first place? Statistically speaking, disturbing behavior would show up in about 1 of you. Another sign that your friend is disturbed is if he shows a lack of remorse.
Are only boys disturbed?
Perhaps I should be saying he or she, but yes, actually. You have a friend who is being mean to an animal, very mean.
My brother throws rocks at our dog.
Well, that doesn't sound very nice. The kind of behavior towards animals that I'm talking about is a forcible, it's about hurting the animal. And you'll know when that's happened. In any case, if you see this, you should tell a teacher or your mom or your dad. Because one day he may start being mean to people. Who wants to see my badge? Or if you want to do any more outreach, just let me know.
Don't say that. I'll hold you to it.
Janet Ebner, I teach 4th grade here. May I have a moment?
Sure.
Heard about some behavior that I classify as disturbing.
Okay. It all starts with instinct.
And I'm not the only one. Some of the other teachers are concerned. Let's go to the staff room. He has a thing for tickling.
Who does?
Principal Wade, Roger, tickles the children, their feet. Sometimes a child will go to his office for disciplinary reasons. That's when it happens.
What?
Nickels. He gives them nickels if they can withstand the tickling. The board questioned him. Nothing happened.
But somebody took it to the
He
police.
said he'd look into it, write something up. That was 5 months ago.
This isn't exactly my area.
This is what you were talking about. Vivian, you said disturbing.
Whatever's going on here is obviously nuanced.
Imagine one of those 7-year-olds is yours. Wouldn't you be worried one day he'd ask her to take something else off? Put a call in, please.
Sorry, my car's in the shop. I had to wait for Patrick to give me a ride.
Patrick,
Here, I'll stick it in the freezer.
remember the last time you did that? I picked you up.
At school? No, it's way too far to be away.
You, Debbie Mitford, took your car in for maintenance?
I've kind of been forgetting to put oil in it. The guys at the shop gave me enough grief, so maybe you don't have to.
I don't think I can not give you grief. Why is it so hard to stay mad at you?
I don't know.
You don't think it's harmless fun?
No, it's creepy and disgusting. Cousin had this 1st grade teacher who would give her a sticker if she let him pinch her cheek. He did it to all the girls. He was pinching some of them in other places.
Was he ever caught?
No. Assume the adult is right, especially if he's an authority figure.
I wonder how many girls he did that to.
Whispers, but by that point he was retired.
It's escalating behavior. Almost like they can't help themselves. They've got this compulsion. Oh, I have to go back to Oregon this week.
9 more rounds with Butterball Brewdogs.
If you need a ride home from school again, call me.
Can I help you?
You know Detective Barr?
Step politics. Women like that are always looking for a pot to stir.
She's got extra energy.
Apparently some parents are concerned too.
She said that, but I never saw him. I can't arrest him unless he does something illegal. I explained this to Miss Ebner. I shouldn't have to explain it to the FBI.
How rude.
Why am I reading this?
I thought we might look into it.
A foot tickler? Guy's a grade school principal with no record.
People are concerned. No one will help them.
Then we have a stack of applications to review. I don't see your stack getting any shorter.
They're all gunning to talk to lust murderers. They bring nothing to the table. How's this?
I'm not going back to Oregon.
You expect me to interview Brutos alone?
If you want.
I do not want to do this alone.
So don't. We have a ton of material from last time.
Why does he want to go?
You're really not coming.
I'm really not coming.
Of the only inmates they allow in hobby shop. Leather boring tools. Pearl Board should really take that into account.
I'd like to pick up with
Where's Bill?
He couldn't be here this time.
Did I scare him off?
No.
Bill, I miss you. Please come back.
To take it from the murder of the second girl, Jane Weber.
Okay. Said let's go home. We'll call a mechanic.
Home to your house.
Yeah.
Did she also want to be a model?
Yeah.
Funny how all these girls you met wanted that.
Invited her to the garage. Took some photos.
What kind of photos?
You know, headshot.
And that's the last you saw of her.
Last anyone saw of her, as far as I remember.
The transmission was traced back to a car that you owned.
Yeah, I know.
So was that all part of the police plot?
Oh, yeah.
Someone killed those girls.
Yeah, I know. I have a whole theory about that. The killer realizes things are heating up and splits. Probably chopping up girls in Seattle. Search my house, find a few pairs of shoes, decide I'm their fall guy.
It's a pretty big coincidence that you met a couple of the girls that became his victims.
Huge coincidence. Right. Maybe the first one fell into his lap. After that, he got a taste for it.
Oh. No, that's interesting. Even before the first one, he fantasized about murdering a woman.
Definitely.
So the murders were just an extension of thoughts he already had.
Think about it pretty hard to go through with it. You'd have to be driven.
Laura Sullivan was hit from behind. Jane Weber was choked from behind.
It might not have been about watching them die. It might just been about having them quiet. There are all these photos of them in different positions.
Have intercourse with them.
Sure.
Kathy Schmidt was photographed in a piece of lingerie that was not hers.
She'd probably like that. I'm saying is all the women I meet
want to be models.
May have made it clear at a certain point that she needed to take the pictures if she wanted him to let her go.
Oh
That's
God.
what you get when you want to be a model?
When you want people to look at you.
Get some of that control back in his real life.
Oh, yeah. Probably made him want more.
We all have fantasies, don't we? I can remember my first fantasy of girls. What's your first fantasy?
Oh, there was a woman in a tunnel. I trapped her there. Made her do things. At that point, there wasn't even anything sexual about it.
You still have fantasies, Jerry?
Come on, Jerry.
No, I don't. Tell the parole board that.
No, we knew he was lying, but it could have gone either way, because he had two other Klansmen to back him up. The guy's eyes bug out. He starts stammering, he comes completely unglued. Word is out, y'all are onto something big in this basement. I couldn't wait to see for myself.
Well, I hope we lived up to the hype.
He's black.
Nothing gets past you. He's our best candidate.
He could incite a response that affects the study.
That means no.
Brutos behave?
He was almost pleasant.
Our new team member will train with transcription, but we're looking for someone that has operations experience.
How many people have you seen?
I didn't think that you were interested in the process.
Greg's done a lot of work in the field. He's a talented agent. His dad and I studied pre-law together at Dartmouth.
That means he wants him hired.
Is his knuckles gripping the stock, and he's yelling, "Halt, police, drop the gun." Form lowers his shotgun, and we take off again after the driver. Mike catches him and nearly beats the flim-flam out of him. The guys call me the Padre, and they come to confession at my desk. Family joke was that we'd never run out of guilt or oaths.
Are you religious?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Carr, do you believe that Jesus rose from the dead?
I am Christian. So's my wife.
Good and evil, right and wrong, are these concepts that you believe in?
Yes, I do.
We need to understand the gray areas.
The world is complex, I get that. I can check my judgment at the door. When I hear about girls disappearing, this may sound corny, but I want to make the world a safer place for them.
He's got you wrapped around his little Ivy League finger.
You think it's an act?
He's a mole for Shepard.
What about a trial period?
To see if we can beat the flim-flam out of him? Just seeing what he can take.
What do you got him on?
Bittaker and Norris. Thing with Roger Wade.
Who?
The principal at Shady Lane Elementary. I talked to the superintendent. The school board had a meeting.
You gotta be kidding.
They're begging us to look into it. There are some meaningful signs here.
You're not dragging me into this.
What's the point of all this if we don't apply it to the real world? Certainly our goal is to be preemptive.
We're the FBI, Holden. That is not our goal. Yet.
Students certainly don't complain. They enjoy the contact. In the 5 years that I've been here, their test scores have gone up almost 30%. These children matter to me.
That is quite clear.
We have special games. Sport, 6 years old, who said that he sprained his ankle playing kickball and he didn't want to go back to class. I wiggle his big toe. Does it hurt when this little piggy goes to market? He says that it tickles, so I tickle his feet. The next thing I know, he's laughing. I don't know, what can you get for a nickel these days?
Piece of bubble gum?
Exactly.
Sorry, was I supposed to be hard on
You shouldn't tee him up. If there is a sexual angle, Roger would no doubt be good at hiding it. It gave him a thrill to persuade the committee successfully that he was over his psychological problem.
Isn't that kind of extreme?
You get the idea.
But then I get parents coming to me asking why their children suddenly have pocket change. I agreed to meet with you so I could share my thoughts, but I hope it doesn't get back to him. I have students coming back from his office showing off their earnings.
What did you think of Roger when you first came here?
I transferred because I heard how great this place is, but then that's all he talks about. And I've always been uncomfortable with how he handles the children.
What do you mean?
He's always fussing over them. I don't want to witch hunt. I'm not vindictive. I just wish he'd listen.
You've heard about the tickling?
Of course. When my kids come back from his office, they seem happy. Turns punishment into play. He makes it a positive experience. Nothing could be better for them.
What do you think of Janet Ebner?
Well, I don't like to speak ill of people, but she's a busybody.
What do you think of Mrs. Clark?
She's a crab.
Found out they walked to the corner store without asking and bought Pop Rocks.
And boys will be boys.
So I call Steve's mom. She's having the same conversation with her son. Turns out they got it from Roger. And Steve were fighting on the playground.
They were kicking mud at each other. They weren't fighting.
They were fighting.
Was Jason uncomfortable with the tickling?
I don't think Jason understood that it was inappropriate.
But he wasn't uncomfortable. Down with him.
He made it sound like we were perverts for even asking.
How dare we deny our boy the affection? Touching your kid.
A middle-aged man touching your child's feet.
You should be able to tell them stop.
My covenant is not with you, it's with your son.
Covenant. He used that word.
And he wasn't traumatized. I mean, quite the opposite.
We thought you might have suggestions because we don't know what to do.
Everyone seems to agree. The children don't mind. What about when one of them does? Jerry Brutos kept his urges in check until something triggered it. After that, everything escalated. Roger can help himself with the kids any more than Brutos can stop killing.
Ask him to stop.
People already have.
Let's tell him then. We're the fucking FBI.
I think she's having some trouble managing her students.
Mr. Wade, can we talk? After speaking with several parents and teachers, we're advising you to stop touching the children.
And don't make me sound like some stranger in a raincoat.
We're here at the request of the superintendent.
Really? I have been a principal for 15 years. There hasn't been a shadow on my record until now. How dare you accuse me of being inappropriate with my own students?
We're not accusing you. Some people are uncomfortable.
You are.
Advising you to hear the concerns of your teachers and your school board.
You didn't know what the hell you were doing that day. You still don't. Relation. That is your world, and it has made you paranoid. That is not my school. If you ever do have children, I hope that you'll think long and hard about how you want to raise them.
We do the right thing. Is this a federal issue?
What are you doing?
Studying.
Can I come in?
I really need to study. You really have to leave me alone.
I will. I promise. The presentation of self in everyday life. What's it about?
Please, Holden, you promised, and I really have to finish this. By Irving Goffman. He posits that life is like theater. We tailor ourselves to fit the parts that we're playing. You know, I once tried not smiling for a day, and it was really weird. Strangers kept asking, "Are you okay?"
Did you want to smile?
No, not once I realized what I was doing. Like you and your suits.
We are not talking about my clothes again.
Your suit is your uniform you wear to fit in at Quantico. My hippie thing.
Your peasant tops, long hair, bracelets, leather sandals. Taking an activity normally reserved for family members at home and applying it to the wrong environment.
I can't do this right now. I have to finish because it's my semester project. My partner's making up a questionnaire for them to describe who they think they've met. Yeah. Patrick. Well, we're both working on this Goffman book.
Oh, so you just have mutual interests.
I guess so.
Shepard wants to see you.
About what?
Your little field trip.
How does he know about that? The superintendent asked me to take a look at the situation.
And you said, oh yeah, this is exactly what we do here at the FBI.
We bumped into each other in the cafeteria.
This is not about how I know, it is about what the hell were you thinking?
And solved 2 murder cases now.
You served in an advisory capacity.
We've interviewed suspects.
On cases where there were actual crimes. Now you're a Superman with X-ray vision?
No, but I think I should be allowed a single day to
predict if someone might commit a crime? Smith, in your new BSU position, the last thing you should be following is Agent Ford's intuition.
Don't know what you were thinking.
Apparently no one does.
We'd like you to ask us before you do something like that again. You cannot use this study as justification to launch personal campaigns. It's an incorrect application of the concepts that I'm trying to teach you.
This has nothing to do with your concepts.
She's right, Holden.
He not only tickles Brian, but he gives him money for putting up
Do not use my family as an example. Tell him to take his fucking hands off my kid. Stop using him as an excuse for your unprofessional behavior.
Oh, God, how's Holden the bad guy? Patrick's car.
Can you close the door, please?
Got caught. Holden, I'm single.
The school board will be meeting today to make their decision regarding Roger Wade. I don't know if this would be in line with your recommendation.
I really can't make a recommendation.
What troubles me is I believe he's developed a compulsion that he's justifying as a choice. I can't say that his behavior wouldn't escalate to something more serious.
Right. I see. It's like we should be erring on the side of caution.
Well. Ooh, I like that. That was a sad episode for Holden. Holden's girlfriend obviously was cheating on him, if that's what it looks like. So that's sad, but Holden, I am single. Holden had a bad time. His coworkers are mad at him. His boss is mad at him. His girlfriend cheated on him. His new partner sucks. Has a blabbermouth. Can't hold water. So he's having a bad day. So we have 2 more episodes to go. I wonder what the fallout is going to be. It seems like the board is going to fire this principal who's been a principal for what, 30 years. I feel like we're going to follow this downfall of the principal moving forward for the next 2 episodes. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's going to escalate to the FBI having to solve this riddle. And oops. I think that's exact, and I'm actually kind of interested in following that. I hope it's not just a one and done. I don't see that happening. I think we're definitely gonna follow this. We spent the whole damn episode on it just for us to be done like that. I just don't see that happening. What's going to happen now with Holden and not having a girlfriend? So overall, I would rate this an 8.5. I'm exhausted, but it still kept me entertained. I was in it, so I had my brief moments of zoning out into planet sleepness. But overall, altogether, it was extremely well made episode. I enjoyed it thoroughly. So guys, please like this video, please share this video, and don't forget to comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time with more